Hello, friends. I welcome you back to another episode. Today's talk is about one of the most well known accounts of King Solomon's wisdom. We all want to be wise, and that makes it essential to understand what made King Solomon very wise. Before we begin, I want to thank you for supporting my work with your subscriptions and views and shares. If you're here for the first time and this video means something to you, do consider subscribing to this channel. Alright, let's get started with the story. The story I'm referring to is about the two prostitutes who came to King Solomon for justice. The prostitute who falsely claimed the living baby as her own was proven wrong by the king's order to divide the living child into two. At first, it seemed cruel and unkind for Solomon to give such an order, but he knew how to reveal the real mother using that unconventional yet powerful strategy, as he was blessed with wisdom unknown to man. His judgment was so accurate and the method of executing it so unique and effective that this story almost feels unreal at times. Who would dare argue with such wisdom? When all Israel heard about this particular judgment, they feared Solomon because he displayed the great wisdom of God. If you and I are amazed by Solomon's wisdom in this story, we need to remember what he did before this event took place in his life. He asked God for wisdom, and God granted his request. The God who blessed Solomon with wisdom is the same God we worship today. For us to marvel at Solomon's wisdom and ignore the vast wisdom of God would be a great mistake. And again, if this small display of God's wisdom through Solomon amazes us today, just as it did for those who lived in his time, what can we say about the mind and ways of God, the creator of everything? So the application for us through this story is, in our everyday lives, we have many decisions to make. And for that, whenever we are faced with any confusion, we can ask God for wisdom to conduct ourselves well and to make decisions that positively impact others' lives as we go out and connect with people. While it is important for us to learn from King Solomon that we need to ask for wisdom from God, our focus shouldn't be on King Solomon, but on the source of Solomon's wisdom, that is God. Our hope is that we too can experience God's wisdom if we ask for it and trust Him. As the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Now, before we wind up this video, I want to leave these two questions for us to ponder upon. Number one, what decisions in our lives do we need the wisdom of God for? Number two, have we ever asked God for His wisdom? Let us all do the needful by carefully meditating upon these questions and obeying what the Word of God tells us to do in this matter. And friends, that's all for today. I hope this little insight into Solomon's wisdom and how we too can gain wisdom from the same God who blessed Solomon encourages us to seek wisdom from the right place and in the right way. Thank you for staying with me till the end. God bless you all. We'll talk again soon. Till then, bye-bye.